Hello friends, welcome to GMAT strategy session free for all. About me, my name is Ghanshyam Ji, I'm trainer at Y-Axis. Today I'm going to talk about the basics, or we can say about the GMAT test. How many questions are there, what will be the timing, what will be the test structure, etc. So let's begin with first slide about GMAT. The first question is what GMAT stand for. GMAT, the full form of GMAT is Graduate Management Admission Test. Who conduct this GMAT test? GMAT test is conducted by GMAC, Graduate Management Admission Council. This is the conducting body, and your GMAT score can be used for MBA and economics programs. Your GMAT score will be valid for 5 years. What is the validity for 5 years? Once you take the test, you can approach to the universities for your admission or scholarship for coming 5 years. GMAT Council charging $250 for the test. So we can say test fee for GMAT is $250. Now we'll come to the more information about GMAT. The GMAT total test duration be 3 hours 30 minutes, and the maximum score be 800. Take an example, if I take a test today and I'm not happy with my score, can we retake the test once again? Answer is yes, you can, but you need to wait 31 days. I mean, there should be minimum gap of 31 days between two consecutive tests. In fact, you can take GMAT test maximum 5 times in a year, in a calendar year, or we can say in a 12-month period. What's the meaning of calendar year, 12-month period? It is something like this month is, take an example, March. So next March, like today is 3rd March, so till 2nd March next year you can attempt GMAT test 5 times maximum. Another question is, if I fix my test date, let us say 15th May, and 10th May, I feel like I need little more time. So there is an option, you can postpone your test date, you can reallocate your test center, but for everything you need to have minimum 7 days. And for that you need to pay additional $50. The GMAT official website is www.mba.com. As I said, the total test duration be for 3 hours 30 minutes, including breaks. Your test starts with AWA, which is called Analytical Writing Assessment, followed by Integrated Reasoning, followed by Quants or Verbal. But in the recent day, GMAT has given option, you can begin your test even in the different order. What I mean to say, you can begin your test with even integrated reasoning, something like that. So whatever breaks given in the test, this is optional. I mean, you can take it or you can leave it. But we advise you take the break, because test length is, test duration is 3 hours 30 minutes. So taking break is advisable here. Now this is the free GMAT strategy for all. Here I am giving complete test structure. You can see section wise, score and interval and the number of questions, time allotted, everything. For analytical writing assessment, we can say you will be given only one question. That's time allotted with 30 minutes, and the section part is called argument. And for that, the minimum scale, or we can say the benchmark, be 0.0, and the maximum scale or benchmark be 6.0. and whatever be the scale or benchmark, that be the multiple of 0.5. Means you may get 4, you may get 4.5, you may get 5.5, you may get 6, but you cannot get 5.2. Now we'll jump to the next one, integrated reasoning. Integrated reasoning, for that number of questions be 12 and time allotted be 30 minutes. Here all questions be the multiple choice. Many options be there, you need to choose the option and go ahead. Anyway, we'll discuss all this thing in details, but regarding scale, the minimum scale be 1 and maximum be 8. And interval be 1. Likewise, if you see in the analytical writing assessment, you can get 6, 5.5. Here you can get 7, 8, 5, 6, etc. In case of analytical writing assessment, if your score is 5 or more, no problem. You can go ahead. No institution will see your back your score. But if you have 3 or less, you'll be having serious reservation. We advise you to retake the test. Now it comes to the integrated reasoning. If your score is 5 or more, no problem, go ahead. And if your score is 4 or less, again there will be the serious reservation. We advise to retake the test. Now next section be the quantitative. For quantitative, number of questions be 37 and time allotted is 75 minutes. And the scale be here minimum 0 and maximum scale be 60. So far the highest score is 51, or we can say the world's highest score in the quantitative is 51. And if you are getting 51, wow. If you are getting 50, wonderful. But if you are getting below 50, it's worthless. We advise do more practice and retake the test. Come to the next one is the verbal reasoning. For verbal reasoning, number of questions be 41, time allotted is 75 minutes, and again like the quantitative, the scale be minimum 0, maximum 60, and interval be 1. And here if you are getting 40 or more, no issue, go ahead. But if you are getting below 36, there will be the serious reservation. So again I can say, be advised, retake your test again if your verbal score is 36 or below. Now let's come to the total score. This total score is combination of quants and verbal both. Here the minimum score be 200 and maximum score be 800. And whatever be the score, that be the multiple of 10. Mean to say is you can get 600, you can get 700, you may get 790 or even 800. But no one can get 70, 705, 712, something like that. Idea behind this is the score be multiple of 10. And also nobody can get below 200. If you are attempting the test, even you give all wrong answer, your minimum score be 200. Now let's talk little more about the integrated reasoning section. The total number of questions be 12. Time allotted for this be 30 minutes. And the good part here is calculator be allowed. But you cannot use your own calculator. In the real exam, you'll be having the screen calculator. You can see one screen calculator, drop down for your menu, you can use that one. There be only basics operation like plus, minus, into, division, and memory also you can use memory plus, square root, etc. But it won't be the scientific calculator where you can use exponent, when you can see the inverse function. No, this will not be available. Only simple operations be available here. Now, one thing before I go to the next slides here, for GMAT quantitative section, calculator is not allowed. But for GMAT integrated reasoning section, calculator is allowed. Do remember. Now, integrated reasoning type of questions. You'll be getting 4 type of questions. Number 1, graphic representation. Number 2, multi-source reasoning. Number 3, table analysis. Number 4, 2-part analysis. Anyhow, everything we'll discuss in detail. Now let's come to the Still you are looking more information, please visit to GMAT official website www.mba.com/next generation GMAT. Even you can go to the Facebook www.facebook/official GMAT. Even you can go to the YouTube www.youtube/official GMAT. Now, I will be talking little more about quantitative reasoning section. As we discuss in the quantitative, you'll be having total 37 questions. We can't assure you, but in general there will be the 20 questions of problem solving and 17 questions of data sufficiency. What is this problem solving? A question followed by 5 options, exactly one option be correct. You need to choose. Everyone is aware of that. Next one is the data sufficiency. There will be the some question followed by some information and given 2 statements. Your job is to decide whether the given statement are sufficient to answer the questions or not. In detail we'll discuss later. Now I'm going to give the quick idea. How to attain data sufficiency question. As I said, there will be a question followed by some information followed by 2 levels. Let us say level 1 and level 2. How to choose the answer here? For the question being asked, if statement 1 alone sufficient and statement 2 alone not sufficient, in that case you need to choose correct answer as A. If statement 2 alone sufficient but statement 1 alone not sufficient, then you need to choose answer as B. Let us assume that statement 1 alone not sufficient, statement 2 alone not sufficient, but when we club these 2 statements, we are having sufficient information to decide or to give the answer for the question being asked, then we need to choose correct answer as C. There could be the case where statement 1 alone is giving some answer, statement 2 alone is sufficient to give some answer. In that case, you need to choose correct answer as D. And last one is, there could be the possibility that statement 1 alone not sufficient, statement 2 alone not sufficient, and when you are clubbing them, even then also not sufficient. In that case, you need to choose correct answer as E. Here we have some sample problems. Next slides, next session we'll discuss these problems, and for time being I can say thank you. These problems we'll discuss in the next slides, next class. So I welcome everyone, come and join my channel. I'm going to give over 100-hour free training to everyone. If anyone is looking for private tutoring, they can contact to my email ID, strategygmat@gmail.com, and my mobile number 9848123498. I'm from India, Hyderabad. I've been in this field from last 15 years. As I said, I don't remember, but definitely I taught over 15,000 students overall, but 12,000 students of GMAT, GRE and SAT. So thank you very much for watching my video. See you. Bye bye.